Welcome to Unboxed God, where we detox from religion and discover the God who refuses to fit inside the boxes we were given. I'm Tolu Sarah Jensen, and here we explore who God really is beyond fear, beyond formulas, and beyond everything we were taught to perform. If you're hungry for a real relationship with Him, you are in the right place. Let's dive in. So this is going to be the parable, chapter 10, the parable of the marriage feast. Invitation ignored, opportunity lost. When you look at our journey so far, the previous parables warned us that time has limit. Grace extended without response does not remain open forever. Now Jesus moves from barrenness to something even more sobering. Invitation rejected. This is no longer about inactivity alone, it is about dismissal. The door was not hidden, the call was not unclear. The feast was ready. What failed was not provision, it was response. And before we dive deeper into this, let's read the Bible verse for this, which is Matthew 22, verse 1 to 14. It says, Then the king, Jesus spoke to them again in parables, saying, The kingdom of heaven is like a king who prepared a wedding banquet for his son. He sent his servant to those who had been invited to the banquet to tell them to come, but they refused to come. Then he sent some more servants and said, Tell those who have been invited that I have prepared my dinner, my oxen and fattened cattle have been butchered, and everything is ready. Come to the wedding banquet. But they paid no attention and went off, one to his field, another to his business. The rest seized their servants, mistreated them, and killed them. The king was enraged. He sent his army and destroyed those murderers and burned their city. Then he said to his servant, The wedding banquet is ready, but those I invited did not deserve to come. So go to the street corners and invite to the banquet anyone you find. So the servant went out into the street and gathered all the people they could find, the bad as well as the good, and the wedding hall was filled with guests. But when the king came in to see the guests, he noticed a man there who was not wearing wedding clothes. He asked, How did you get in here without wedding clothes? Friends, the man was speechless. Then the king told the attendants, Tie him hand and foot and throw him outside into the darkness, where there will be weeping and gnashing of teeth. For many are invited, but few are chosen. So, let's look at that verse. The kingdom of heaven is like a certain king who arranged a marriage for his son. The parable begins not with demand, but with celebration. A wedding is not obligation, it is honor, it is joy, it is relationship. The king is not summoning servants to labor, he is inviting guests to rejoice. Preparation here is not about effort. It is about recognizing value. So, it says he sent out his servant to call those who were invited, and they were not willing to come. The guests were not strangers, they were already invited. And this is not ignorance, it is indifference. The tragedy is not hostility, it is apathy. They are not rejecting the king directly, they are declining the moment. They've gotten so used to the king that they tell the king, Oh, I'm busy. I've got to do this. I've got to attend to this. What have you been? What excuses have you been given to God that you keep pushing that assignment that He has given to you? You keep putting it in the back burner. It's not urgent now. Oh, I'll come back to you later. And grace repeat the invitation. Say again, He sent out others. Go out. Notice the patience. And you'll be so surprised. Papa, Jesus, Holy Spirit, they are still extremely patient. Do you know how long Jesus has been waiting to come back? Giving us more time, more time, more time, more time. The king explains, he reassures, he emphasizes readiness, the importance. Everything is prepared. Nothing is missing. Nothing is demanded. Except presence. Grace does not withdraw at the first refusal. It persists. And what was he requesting? Just your presence. Just come and partake in the wedding. A lot of you think that you are present because you go to church, because you carry out all this religious activity, but God doesn't know you. You don't have an intimate relationship. You are not present in His presence. You just keep using religious activities to refuse His presence. You excuse yourself. Oh, I've got to go to choir practice now. I'll come back to come and speak to you, God. You keep pushing Him away. And He's saying, come in. I've made everything ready for you. And that is why I've seen that all my life in religion, I was pushing Him away. I didn't know. But now that I've experienced presence, that I've experienced relationship, there's no going back to that. So they made light of it. This is the heart of this parable. They did not argue theology. They did not dispute authority. They simply chose other priorities. A farm, a business, ordinary life. Invitation is not lost through rebellion, but through distraction. Yes. Preparation fails here not because people eager, but because they treat His invitation as optional. And do you still treat your relationship with Him as optional? Do you know Him? Or do you just know His word? And you quoted the word, using that as a defense that you know Him. Whereas He doesn't know you. Preparation fails here. Stop using distraction to delay your preparation. Stop using distractions as an excuse. Because He wants your presence. He wants you to be the Mary, not the Martha in this scenario. Some move beyond indifference into hostility. But this parable is clear. Judgment is not triggered by ignorance. It follows persistent refusal. He has used so many ways to call you back, but you keep refusing. And He's still asking you now. Are you going to listen, or will you continue to refuse? And this parable is clear. Judgment is not triggered by ignorance. It follows persistent refusal. The king's response is not impulsive. It is final. Opportunity once repeatedly rejected does not open indefinitely. How many times have you rejected Him? How many times have you denied Him? But there's going to be a day that opportunity is going to fail. God says, I chase all my children till the gate of hell. I chase them all the way. I never give up. But have you given up on Him? Because what happened? The invitation expands. The wedding is ready, but those who were invited were not worthy. So worthiness here is not moral perfection. It is willingness. It is whoever is available. The feast does not get cancelled. It gets reassigned. Those ones considered unlikely now fill the hall. Grace is not exhausted, but it moves forward. Yes, so if you do not make yourself available, God's kingdom will be filled with the ones that have made themselves available. And they might be the ones that you call the least that becomes first. So, the final sin is the most misunderstood. A man accepts the invitation but refuses the garment. In the ancient world, wedding garments were provided. So, refusing to wear one was not oversight, it was disrespect. So, these guests wanted access without transformation. You know yourself. You want God's blessing, you want His gift without the giver. You want to use Him is the most. God said, I am the most used person in the whole wide world. And one of my recent interviewer, which is Madame Guyon, he said, God is a victim. He's not respected. He's been misused. He's been taken advantage of. So is that what you're doing? You're disrespecting him. You're disrespecting his love. And it's very sad. These guys wanted access without transformation, inclusion without alignment, participation without preparation. And grace welcomes freely, but it does not excuse refusal to be changed. So, many are called, but few are chosen. And now God renders it differently for me. And this was said by Abel as well in the last interview I had with him. Many are called, few are trusted. Not even chosen, few are trusted. So, are you among the ones that are trusted? This is not a statement about scarcity. It is about response. The call is wide. The invitation is generous. But being chosen is not random. It is revealed by how the invitation is received. So, are you going to receive it? As we advance in this journey, preparation has now reached another line of clarity. The fig tree shows that fruitfulness wastes opportunity. The feast shows that invitation ignores, forfeits place. So grace does not force response, but it does not wait forever. Opportunity is real, but it is not permanent. So let's finish with this analogy, the accepted offer. Imagine someone offered a life-changing position. The offer is generous, the terms are clear, the start date is set. They say, I'll think about it. Days pass, then weeks, they assume the offer will still be there. Eventually, the role is filled. The company did not withdraw out of cruelty. The company did not withdraw out of cruelty. They moved forward. The opportunity was real, the delay was costly. And this is what Jesus is teaching. The question this parable asks is, what have you done with the invitation you received? Not your beliefs, not your intentions, your response. The familiarity breeds indifference. The responsibility crowd you out rejoicing. Did life feel more urgent than the call? Because invitation ignored do not remain neutral. They expire. It is not going to be there forever. And I hope you don't regret your decision. So, preparation narrows, yet this parable marks a shift. Preparation is no longer about growth alone, it is about urgency of response. Grace invites, grace waits, grace persists, but grace also moves on. The feast will be filled. The only question left is, will you be there? Or will someone else take the place you assumed will always be yours? I hope you've been blessed with this parable, and I will see you in the next one. God bless.